Maybe she did not understand. S2, lesson 2. As we wait for our friends to come, this is what we looked at last week, but I'm now interested now in the exercise since most of you did not do. You could be able to help me here. Let's approach these exercises. Can we have at least people try out these exercises of last week, or I mean of Tuesday, so that we remind ourselves, because the answer Sheena has given me has a bit scared me. Can we be able to approach those questions together as a class? Can we see my screen, Mr. To? Mr. To? Can we see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, I have the questions. Okay, can we try out these questions? Remember, we looked at passive voice and active voice. I did not see this work. So we can start with this work. Then I go to what I had intended to do today. I remember last time we hadn't covered this. So can someone try out the first one? The first question is in the present simple tense. The rest I will ask you to determine them. Can you be able? So those who are just joining, I'm standing in for our teacher today of CRE. She's not well. She'll be coming back next week. So I apologize for those who expected CRE. Let us enjoy English for today. Yes, Shami Rahma. Shami?
So we are not seeing the questions.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes.
You
I'm not
know
seeing the questions.
Okay, it's all right. Let me share again. Then you let me know. Are you seeing now?
Yes.
Okay. So I said the first question is in the present.
Yes.
Present simple tense. Let us try out these questions very fast. If we could do 2 to 3, and then we go back to what brought me today here. Remember, this sentence is in active voice. We are changing them to passive voice. By show of hands. Rahma, Shami.
The wood is taken to the sawmills.
The wood is taken to the sawmills. So is will, if when you mention is here, that is the silent verb to be. It retains the question still in the present simple tense. However, this time it is in the passive voice, and the take changes to participle, which is taken. Okay. The second question we can try for us very fast. Isabella. Isabella?
Rice. They grow rice on the plains. The answer is rice is grown on the plains.
Rice is grown on the plains. So what in the first sentence that they grow rice on the plains, rice becomes the what?
Rice becomes the object.
Yes, rice is the object. And we agreed that when we are writing the passive voice, the object now is our interest. So in short, the object changes into the subject. Next question, they are bathing the baby. They are bathing the baby. Sozi?
Yes, teacher. Yes,
What is
teacher.
the answer?
The baby has been bathed.
Hey, they are bathing the baby. They are bathing the baby. Someone to help Sozi? Rona? Rona? The baby is singular. The baby is being bathed. The baby is being bathed. Please look at the sentence structure. They are bathing the baby. This sentence is in present continuous. Next sentence, they are repairing the car. Oh, they are repairing my car. They are repairing my car. Next, they are repairing my car. Angela.
My car is being repaired.
My car is being repaired. That is true. Thank you so much. Now we are changing. Now we are going to past simple tense. They kicked me on the leg. They kicked me on the leg. What would be that in the passive voice, Maria? Maria.
I was kicked on the leg.
I was kicked on the leg. Very true. They sometimes took our clothes or our clothing. Next person. Curvins. That's Curvin. They sometimes took our clothing. Curvin.
Was sometimes taken.
I beg your pardon.
Our clothes was sometimes taken.
Our clothes were sometime taken. That is true. Our clothes were, for the plural there, were sometimes taken. They were interviewing me for a job. They were interviewing me for a job. Patience, Melissa Gift.
I was interviewed for the job.
I was interviewed for the job. Next, they were changing the rules. Past continuous. They were changing the rules. They were changing the rules. Peace, Petra, Kevin. Peace, Petra, Kevin. Peace.
The rules were being changed.
The rules were being changed. Beautiful. They have chosen me as their chairperson. They have chosen me as their past chairperson. I take on Miss Ghana.
I have been chosen as their captain.
I have
Been chosen as their captain.
Okay, I have been chosen as their captain. Thank you. They have just made the tea. They have just made the tea. Angela.
The tea has been just made.
Oh, pardon?
The tea has just been made.
The tea has just been made. Future tense. They will promote you next year. They will promote you next year. Rahma Vivian. Rahma Vivian.
Yes, you
What is
will
the
be
answer?
promoted. You will be promoted next year.
You will be promoted next year. And finally, they will force her to agree. They will force her to agree. Flavia.
She will be forced.
She will be forced
She'll be
to. Okay. She
Agree.
will be forced to agree. Thank you so much, Flavia, for that. So what I decided to do is I brought all the different tenses so that you can be able to know the change from passive to active in the present simple, present continuous, past simple, past continuous. Then I also looked at past perfect, I mean present perfect tense, which has the have. And then finally, the future tense, which has the will. So those are the different changes. So I expected people to have done this exercise, but I noticed after Shina's answer that maybe we did not understand. So that was what we looked at on Tuesday. And I was able to give you an exercise that people were supposed to attempt. Today, I'm here on a different accord. Today, I'm here to share with you. I'm here to share with you a different kind of exercise or a different kind of practice. Today, I want to teach you how to write apology letters. I want to teach you how to write apology letters. Most of us have the ideas, and I would love to start hearing from those members who have good knowledge, about saviors, those who have good knowledge about letter writing. This falls under formal letters. So I would expect someone to share with us their knowledge of letter writing. Particularly, I expect us to have an idea on formal letters under apology. That's what I expect people to share with us today. So if you're there and you want to share with us anything around apology letters, this is the time for you to put up your hand and share with us any knowledge you have under formal, or rather apology letter. What is important? What is needed? What is necessary? What makes it an apology letter? That is what I want us to share. I'm very sure people like Ahedes have written apologies before. Ahedes are coming. Dennis. Isabella.
Teacher,
Yes.
we start with addresses.
Before we go to addresses, have you ever written an apology letter before?
Yes.
What had you done? You can share. No one will report you. Mommy is not listening.
I broke a window, a school window.
At school?
Yes.
Let me call your head teacher. So what did you do? How did you start your letter? And then what kind of language did you use? That's what I'm interested in.
I used the formal language.
You used formal language. That is very, very good. Formal language is a key requirement. Yes. Now, what about the structure? What was it, the layout of your letter? What did you start with when you're writing?
I started with the address, then the date, and after the reference.
From the address to date to reference. Oh, and they accepted your letter?
Yes.
I'm going to call the head teacher to refuse your letter. There is something missing in your letter. Let us find out from the next person who wants to share. That is Isabella. Oh, Isabella. Isabella, what did you write? What did you do? First of all, tell us the crime. What did you do?
I was making noise in class.
Definitely, I suspected. So what kind of language did you use?
Like, I did not mean to offend you or inconvenience you or annoy you.
I'm now interested in the structure. First, give me, what did it look like? What did you start with?
I started with my address, the date, and the address the address I was apologizing, the address of the person I was apologizing to.
Who did you write the apology to?
The class teacher.
Class teacher, senior?
2.
Senior 2. Okay, that is good. After that?
I wrote the reference, but before I wrote dear sir or madam.
What do you call dear sir or madam when we are writing letters? That is the kind of language I want us to develop, the language that is meant for letter writing. Okay, let you be assisted by a team. A team is yearning to share her experience. A team, Rebecca.
Yes, teacher.
What crime did you commit?
I had stolen the teacher's pen.
Child, you had stolen the teacher's pen. Hey, you were terrible. That is okay. So you wrote to him a letter?
Yes.
Yes, I want you to tell us what was your letter like? Want to share with you?
I wrote my school address. It's called my address. Then I wrote the date.
The date.
Then after I wrote the address's address.
The person you're writing to.
Then after I wrote that dear sir.
What is dear sir in English?
Isaac.
I wrote the submission.
Isaac.
Please, Isaac, stop fighting your sister.
I wrote the greeting. Then I wrote the reference. Then after
the reference?
that,
Oh, sorry, Tim, I've muted you. Come back.
I wrote the reference. After writing the reference, then I wrote the body. After writing the body, then I did the conclusion. After the conclusion,
just a minute. I have issues with this person calling themselves Celebrity Boy. There are people who have found a way to maneuver around. Celebrity Boy, this is a classroom, be organized. I still want to listen to a team.
Teacher, I was saying I wrote the body. After writing the body, then I wrote the conclusion. After writing the conclusion, then I wrote the remark.
What is a remark? That's new to me.
Like I say that I hope you forgive me for what I've done.
Then what did you write in your conclusion?
In my conclusion, I read that.
Do you see? What you're supposed to put in the conclusion, you are calling it a remark. Okay, thank you so much for sharing. I am just getting to know how much you know so that I polish it for you. It's not a crime. It's not your fault. We are here to learn. I know Mugisha Dorothy had put up her hand, but she has run away. So let me share what I have. Maybe let me pick on Rona. Rona feels like she wants to share her crime. Rona, you want to share your crime? Rona, what had you done? But you're far from your phone. If you're cooking, first finish cooking, then you attend to the lesson. Next person, Angela. Angela, tell us your crime. Angela, what have you done?
was shouting in class.
You sound like a noisemaker. Okay. Share with us what happened. Your network, Rona, is very bad. Okay, without further ado, let me dive into what brought me here today. Rona, you're going to mute. Your network is not so good. I'll come back to you later. So today I felt we should be able to look at formal letters, but particularly the apology letter. Under apology letter, I am keen to note the language and the format. So let me take a look at this. I have a simple inspiration for you that it's never too late to start. Even Angela, who is cooking and attending to the lesson, please make sure you attend to a lesson, then you cook. So elements of the apology letter. Like most of you said, I will agree with you. We need your address first. And this address is written on the right-hand corner of the letter. And it should be indented. I will show you what it means to be indented or what indenting refers to. It is a type of paragraphing. We have block paragraphs, and then we have what we call indented paragraphs. In English, we strictly use indented paragraphs. As long as you're in secondary school rather, it will only take indented paragraphs. Even the historians are now adopting them. So let us strictly adhere to these paragraphs where you leave space from the margin. Then I go to the next. The date. This date is written below your address. It should be written at the right top corner of your letter. That is below your address, the writer's address. The address, the next thing we want to see. Then there is a formal way of writing a date. I will also be looking at that keenly. A formal way to write a date. A date should be written in such a way that the TH is in the same line. For example, let me look at this. Sorry. Just a minute. The date, the TH, for example, 20th, the TH should be on the same line with the figure 20. If it's September, don't write sept. We don't take those things of stroke. We do not take a shortcut when we are writing a date. A date should be written in full. 24th September, 2021. That is what we call a formal way of writing a date. I will be displaying that example as well. Then the address of the person you are writing to, the addressee's address, is written now on the left-hand side. The first address is on the right-hand side. Below it is the date. We do not skip lines. The only line you can skip is the line between the date and the writer's address. The meaning of indented, I've told you, is to leave space from the margin. When you're writing, a paragraph, you leave some space from the margin. For example, when you take a look at your chart, I'm going to try to type something in your chart. I leave some space. Then I say, this is an example of indented paragraph. We leave space from the margin of the first sentence. So if you take a look at what I have sent to you to our chat, the computer has edited it, but it's supposed to be leaving space from the margin. I hope that serves as an explanation, but I'll be able to share with you more as we go on. So after the writer's address, we go to the next element. After the writer's, so the writer's address is not indented. For it, it is written in the block format where everything starts from the margin. I will also be displaying that. More, after that, after the writer's address, we have the salutation where you say, dear sir, used when you do not know the name of the person. So when you use the title of the person, for example, sir, I also do not encourage, do not say dear sir or madam in the same salutation. You should know the person you're writing to. If it's a woman, say dear madam. If you're writing to a man, say dear sir. If you're writing to a religious leader, say dear father, dear deacon, dear brother, dear sister, dear archbishop, dear pope. Those are titles as well. But usually when they are used when you don't know the name of the person. Then the second way you can salute is by saying, dear Mr. Okero, dear Madam Margaret, dear maybe Pastor Okelo. You can mention the person's name. So always use titles, for example, Mr., Mrs., Miss, Mrs., Dr., etc. And we strictly use only the surname when we are dealing with this. For example, Okero is the surname. Have we understood up to that point? Sozi, your hand is up. You'd like to share? Sozi, you're
Yes, teacher.
welcome.
Yeah.
Your hand is up. Would you like to share?
Yeah, I forgot to raise it down. I'm sorry. Lower it down.
It's okay, Sozi. That's understandable. Let me pick on the next person. Noelin Kasoti.
You say that you only use the surname like Mr. Okelo. Like now, what if the person you're writing to like has a second name like Mr. Okelo Joseph? I don't write the Joseph.
No, Joseph now becomes the Christian name. For us, we usually use our traditional names in short. Dear Okecho, Naruvami, or whatever, you know, those are the surnames. We encourage you to use surnames. Why? Most times when you say, for example, let me see, which name did you register here? You are Noelin. Now, I'm supposed to call you Noelin when we are friends. Only when we are friends is when I'm supposed to call your other name. Are we together? If we are close, but when you're not close to me, you're supposed to be formal and say Mr. Onyul. But when we get close, you're like, you know, Larry. You can be able to use Larry. That is what English tells us. I guess we have to. You're welcome. Derek Mugisha.
Sir.
Yes.
I'm not seeing some of the words. They are covered by the screen on the left-hand side.
What is covering it?
I'm just seeing elements of the formal letter. Then the salutation. The word salutation is covered.
What format?
And those other words under the word salutation.
What is covering them?
The screen is covering them. I'm not seeing all of them.
Are you sure? Let me another person. Let me. Noelin, are you there? Ahereza? Ahereza, are you there?
Yes.
Can you see my screen clearly?
Yes, teacher.
Is there anything covering it?
No.
Okay,
it's so clear.
Okay, so Ahereza, maybe it's the way you've put your phone. Are we together? Try to change. If you can auto rotate it or try any other format so that you can be able to see.
Okay, so I've seen.
Okay. Let me now get back to our content. I said, these are the different ways you can salute. A salutation comes after the receiver's address or the addressee's address or the person you're writing to. Those are the possibilities. And that is where we find it. Below it, I'm going to give you the example very soon. Next. Now, what you people have been calling the reference, that is not true. That is called the reason or purpose of the letter. Why you have written RE in full is not reference. Reference in short is REF, the ref. And usually a reference number is like a file number. So this one, the RE, R is in capital, E is in small letters. That is usually written as the reason for writing the letter. This can be written in capital letters or lowercase. That is immediately after the salutation, dear Mr. Okello, or dear sir, comma. Below the comma is where you now put the R capital and E full stop. Just like I have demonstrated it here on my screen or in my notes. Then after that, you go to the body. You don't write the word body. You simply go to the first paragraph. And your first paragraph is the introductory paragraph. That paragraph, do not greet. Some of you like greeting. I hope this letter finds you in good health. No, you are a criminal, don't greet anyone. This is a formal letter. Formal letters, you do not apologize. I mean, you do not write, you do not greet whatsoever. If it's an application letter, straight away and in the first paragraph, tell us that I hereby submit my application. If it's an apology, for example, here, sorry, in under RE, after writing RE full stop, this one that we write in capital letters or lowercase, you can write re-apology for coming late to school, re-apology for stealing the teacher's pen, re-apology for escaping from school. So that is where we have the reason. And then you go to the introduction. In the introduction, you tell us that that's why you're supposed to write exactly the purpose of this letter should come in the first paragraph. That I hereby write this letter apologizing for having left school without permission. Now, that is what we call the introductory paragraph. Do not greet anyone. No one is interested in knowing, or no one wants you to greet them. At that point, you are supposed to straight away go to the content. You must be straight to the point. Do not say, I hope the good Lord is keeping you well. No. Simply tell us why you're writing this letter in the first paragraph. Then you go to the main body. After the first introduction, or after rather the introduction, you go now and narrate what happened. Then you tell us, for example, on Tuesday, I left school at 3 p.m. without permission. Then now you're supposed to give us an account. What exactly happened? I left with a clique of boys who were going to town. So you give us an account. What happened after that? So in short, the main body should give us exactly what happened. And then later on, you go ahead and own your mistake. Accept that, yes, you left school. Yes, it was on your own accord. Yes, it was without permission. But yes, you are sorry. And you ask to be forgiven. Don't say, you can cane me as many strokes as you want. Already an apology is a punishment. That's why we don't usually accept to be punished, and then also they give you to write an apology. It is illegal. I hope that makes sense. Then you conclude. That's what someone was saying, that I hope maybe my apology meets your kind heart. I hope that you forgive me. That is how you conclude. After the conclusion, you go to the ending of the letter. Those things you've seen, yours faithfully or yours sincerely, you've seen them in letters. You can conclude your letter. That is what we call a complementary clause. You can say yours faithfully, but you use yours faithfully if you did not address the person by name. For example, if you say, dear sir, you would end that letter by saying yours faithfully. If you address the person by name, let's say, dear Mr. Okero, you would be able to say yours sincerely. After yours sincerely, usually there is a signature. Someone will sign. After signing, they write their name in capital letters. Sometimes it is necessary that you give your title. If you're the head prefect, you can write the head prefect. If you're the class monitor, you say class monitor. And that is what we call a letter. So I'm going to display what it looks like, what the addresses look like. So this is what we call indenting. Yes, this one. This is what we call indented paragraphing. Are we together? This is what we call indenting. Do you see this? The first one starts from, wish I could be able to take this away. Sorry about this. Undo. So you see the first St. Peter's, where St. Peter's is? St. Peter's on the very first one starts from the space, St. Peter's, Toro, P.O. Box. You see where the P starts from? Starts from the other P. This is what we call indenting. This is how your address should look like. The writer's address should look like this. This is what we call indenting. Then the date is not indented. The date is independent of the sub of the address. So you must leave, you must not indent this one. This one you write it initially, it is supposed to have come around here. Just a minute. Initially, it should have come around here. This is, let me take to this format. I hope you can still see with that format. What I was saying is this. Usually, this is what we call indenting. You leave space here, you leave space here. So this is the kind of thing we need us to have when we are writing the indented paragraphs. You keep leaving space. Now, in the normal operation, usually this is supposed to be in the same margin with the date, something like that. I hope you can see some of those changes. It is supposed to be at the same level with the date. This one comes here. That is a clearer one. Let me first undo this. So the St. Peter's, the date and the address should be on the same line. This is what I was trying to bring to your attention. This should be on the same line. However, these ones, you still leave this space like this, the way it is around here. Then the writer's address, everything is on the same line. You see this? Everything is on the same line, on the margin. So it ends here. This is the writer's address on the same line. Everything is on the same margin. I've not skipped any space here between the date and the receiver's address. I have not skipped a line. This is the receiver's address. I have not skipped a line. After the receiver's address, this is what we call the salutation. This one here. This is the salutation. And then this is the reason for writing the letter, the RE. This is the RE. Do you see R is in capital? E is in small letters. That is what I want us to master. Do we have any question concerning this heading, or rather the beginning parts first? If you have a hand, you ask, I answer you before I go to the body. Shami. The person called Infinix Hot, I don't know, can you tell me your name? Shami, come in. Rename your gadget.
Excuse me, sir, even after the address is address, when writing the salutation, and we don't write, even after writing this address, the salutation and the reason, we don't skip any line.
No, we don't skip any line. The dear is in the margin or some little space from the margin, but it's okay if it's also in the margin. We don't skip any line. Okay, next person very fast. You ask, you lower your hand after you ask and lower your hand. Okay, the person called Infinix Hot. I cannot pick you until you have told me your name. Infinix Hot, come in. What's your name? Your network. Your name is?
My name is.
Your network.
Okay.
Yes? Okay, let me take on the next person. Patience. Patience.
So, sir, is it a must that they are on the address for my address and the address's address, no skipping line, then even the salutation and the reason for writing the letter, no skipping lines there?
Yes, it's a must. The only line you can skip is around here. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
You're seeing what I'm drawing here?
Uh-huh.
That is the only line you may. The word is may. It is not a must to skip because there is a difference between the writer's address and the date. However, we do not skip lines after that. It is a must that we do not skip lines.
Okay.
You put down your hand. You put down your hand and mute. I think that's it. Flavia is the last person. And then I continue. Yes, Flavia.
I think I was told that when you're writing the reference, you begin each word with a upper.
Yes, the keywords. The keywords, for example, fighting is a keyword. So you can put it in capital, there is no problem. Fighting, maybe prep, only the keywords, are we together? The verbs or the actions or the nouns, are we together? But
Yes.
the helping verbs you may not during prep, rather. During okay, yeah, thank you. During prep, that is okay. That's the key ones. Apology, fighting, prep. Those can serve as what we want. You can mute so that we don't have to struggle. Okay, Shami, again, your hand is up, or it is please look for good network area. Look for a good network area, then you.
They say that when writing the reason.
Try to look for a good network area. Or you can text, I'll be able to see your chat. I can be able to see. Teacher, whose address is the upper one? This is the writer's address. This one here is the writer's address. This one here, the writer's address, your address. That is your address. Okay. Any other chats? Network. Some people have network issues. That is true. Teacher is the title, the designation at the end. Yes, it is. I'm going to be able to show you. Okay, let's get back to our work. Here before. So the first paragraph, like I said, this is what we call indenting, where you leave space from the margin here. The space I have left here untouched, about 1.5 to 2 centimeters. This is the space I'm talking about. That is what we call indenting, leaving space from the margin. So if we were starting to write, are we together? If we're starting to write, we would have started from here. I want you to watch. We would have started from here and said, maybe, just a minute. I would have started from here. And this is where I would have started typing from. That I, this is the space. You leave space. So if you're to start typing where my cursor is here, this is where I would start writing from. That I, this is, so this space I have left here. This is because we use what we call indented paragraphs, leaving space from the margin. That paragraph, we do not greet. You tell us exactly why you're writing this letter. Tell us, I am hereby forwarding in my apology for coming late to school on Monday. Don't greet anyone. Then the second paragraph, you narrate what happened. After that paragraph, you conclude. Here, we shall expect you to conclude after that paragraph. And then this is how we end the letter. Yours faithfully, you sign. This is where you are supposed to have put your signature. And then you write your name in capital letters. And then your title, you can tell us that you are the CM, class monitor. So you can tell us you are the CM here. Class monitor, but in full, class monitor. So that is the idea around here. Teacher, do we skip? Please, we don't skip lines, my people. RE is not for reference. RE is the reason for writing the letter. What usually the teachers tell you that is where we refer to. When we are writing, that is when anyone is reading the letter, that is where they will refer to, because that's where you put the reason. So, but it's not the reference. It is the area we refer to, but it's not the reference. The reference is different from reason. That's what I can tell you. Miss Ghana, we do not skip lines. Do we skip the line before the date? It is optional, Miss Ghana. It's optional. I don't know if you understand me. It is optional. You can choose not to. No one will penalize you, because we do not encourage skipping lines whatsoever. There is a hand here, Noelin.
Like this part under a team joy, is it like it's the one you were calling the title?
Yes,
like,
this is your title. Yes.
This thing called a designation.
Yes. It's the same title, designation. What is your position? You can say position. Are we together?
Yeah.
in class? Are you a class member? Are you a class captain? Are you? So that is where we put it. It's under there and it's welcome. Okay, RE, apology for breaking the teacher's cane. Yeah, so you can put teacher in capital letter. I mean, the T in capital later. You can put the T. Then breaking can also be in capital, since apology is in capital. Just the A only, not the entire word, but the letter. Angela. Angela is the one to ask the last question.
Is it a must that you put your title?
Is it a must? Sometimes you don't have a title. It is okay. It is not a must. But if the question says, as the class monitor, write an apology letter to your teacher, or write a letter apologizing for failure to maybe to control the class. So under such, you can write that you are the class monitor. It is okay because your position has been mentioned. So you can do that. Okay, so that is what we call an apology letter. That is what I had to share with you this time round. And now I will leave you with a question, an oral question at your disposal. I hope you write this question down. That you have broken, write this question down for those who are having their pens near. You have broken your mother's favorite water jug. You've broken your mother's favorite water jug while playing with your young sister, or while playing with your sister or brother. Write an apology letter. Write an apology letter to your mother. I repeat, you have broken your mother's favorite jug, water jug. You have broken your mother's favorite jug. Write a letter, or while playing with your young sister or brother, write an apology letter to your mother. I think that's all for today. Time has eaten away. Let me pick Patience very fast.
Excuse me, sir. When is the next lesson?
You don't have the timetable?
I'm new.
Oh, Miss Toto, are you there? Are you in the Google Classroom? I mean, do you have any Google Classroom? Are you in the Google Classroom?
No.
How did you get the link to this WhatsApp? I mean, to this Zoom class?
My mother had it.
Okay, so if you check her phone, we have been sending her the timetables and everything. However, everything is usually there. We make sure we share with you everything.
Okay.
The next lesson, I think, is at midday.
But at midday.
However, it could be senior 2. I need to cross check with me here. Mr. To, are you there? Let me check here with me. But I'm shocked. I thought you've been, most of the students who are here. Oh, it is at 2, but it is end at 2. Anyone who has the timetable can share with her. You can get in touch with anyone, then they add you. So you have entrepreneurship at 2. The next lesson is for senior 1, since you share the same link.
Okay. Sir, sir, how about the code to Google Classroom?
Yes, those ones are also supposed to be here. I shall be able to share with you. Let me see what I can type here that can take you to all those things.
Okay.
I'm going to share something on your use this link. It can take all of you to wherever you want. You will have a chance to pick anything. bit.ly/edify. It will be able to take you to all the things you want, both Google Classes and other Google whatever is within what we share. So I've sent it there. You can use that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You can also Google Christian Schools Owners Association and you'll be able to go there directly. Mr. Tom? Mr. Tom?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.